Without a healthy mind, being truly happy and at peace is hard. The good news is therapy works. But what is therapy exactly? It's whatever you want it to be. Maybe you're not feeling motivated right now and would like some tools to help. Or maybe you're feeling insecure in relationships or at work, not dealing well with stress. Whatever you need, it's time to stop being ashamed of normal human struggles and start feeling better because you deserve to be happy. And now you don't have to worry about finding an in-person therapist near you to help. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. Join the millions of people who are seeing what online therapy is really about. It's always a good time to invest in yourself because you are your greatest asset. And a special offer to ImmaLetYouFinish listeners, you can get 10% off your first month of professional therapy at betterhelp.com/ImmaLetYou, ImmaLetYou. That's betterhelp.com/ImmaLetYou, ImmaLetYou. Thanks again to BetterHelp for sponsoring this podcast.
What's up, everybody? It's ImmaLetYouFinish on the Pantheon Podcast Network. It's show number 93.
93?
It's Court and Amy. What's up,
Hi.
Hey.
Well, having a little dental issue today. So I'm only going to be snarky and sarcastic out of one side of my mouth today. You're only going to hear the, ow, see, just laughing, the air went into my tooth. So Courtney, don't take it personally, but I may not laugh at any of your jokes today because it causes me extreme pain to do it. Mm-hmm. All right. Take it away. Well, speaking of extreme pain. Okay.
Do you remember that time when it was the summer of free agency for fucking real?
And we're starting with that extreme pain.
Well,
okay.
Because everybody kept thinking, the Knicks are going to get Kevin Durant. They're going to da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. And then we got the bamboozle of them not really giving the Knicks meetings and everybody going to Brooklyn and being like, fuck y'all, who would want to be a Knick? Well.
Whatever. Yeah, bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Once again,
bye-bye.
That team from Brooklyn will be watching the finals.
I'm sorry. That team from Jersey, I think is what you meant to say.
Right. They will be watching the finals just like the Knicks from home.
Yeah.
Because they got swept by Boston, no less.
That literally I would never, if Boston were playing, if Putin had a team, I would still be like, I don't know, can I root for Boston?
Right, it's that thing.
It's that thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, even after the Boston Marathon, when the Knicks were in the playoffs, after the Boston Marathon, after the bombings, and I remember Lucian and I were kind of like, all right, can we start rooting against Boston now? It's been 2 weeks.
Right,
I mean, we're done.
Right.
So, I have a philosophical objection to teams like the Nets, because I don't like this putting together your favorite game. I think you should put teams together organically. I don't like this pick and choose, whatever. But you know what? Ha, you lost, whatever. Let the games, I'm mad that Boston won, but I am not at all mad that the Nets won because I think they've just been, I don't like teams where they think it's going to be preordained that they're going to win.
And every top of the last 2 to 3 seasons, I feel like they were the ones pegged. Everybody was like, they have a big 3. They're going to win. That didn't work out. No. They traded for the guy who didn't play in Philadelphia, who came here and still hasn't played.
Yeah.
It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. I just don't like the whole Miami Heat. We're going to let the players dictate who I want to play with kind of bullshit. But anyway, bye Nets. See ya. Mm-hmm. Bye. All right. So speaking of money, all right, you have to explain.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know. I watched this man speak. He's just so, Elon Musk is he's just like this strange being to me. I have
he's high functioning. He's high function. Look, he is very intelligent. We'll give him that.
Yes.
He did not invent Tesla, but that's neither here nor there. He is a super high functioning he's not in the world that we are in.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand. Like, can you buy something that's not for sale?
Yes, with enough money, because this is how the world works.
Okay.
You wave enough money at people and they're just like, I don't have a moral. I have a bank account.
Well, it's not even moral. I mean, was Twitter, I'm being serious, was Twitter for sale or did he just
it's a public company, so he can go in there and now he's going to take it private.
Whatever. Listen,
which is like,
let me tell you something. First off,
I just think it's weird that we're so happy.
We hate our Twitter handle, don't we?
We do. But here's the thing that I really hate. That we are okay with like 4 people owning everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're okay with 4 people. It really dictates the way so much goes. Like I know people don't pay attention to this, but when we lost net neutrality, this is something I absolutely noticed.
That was a huge.
I was going to search for something on Google.
Right.
And I noticed that every search that came up was something related to Google. And I was looking for a particular video and it gave me pages and pages of things that would be on YouTube, but the actual thing that I'm looking for was not on YouTube. So I go to another service and I type in the same thing and all of the other video services came up and I found the video that I was looking for immediately. People don't realize how much they're being steered in certain directions.
Yeah.
So I don't know what this dude's whole bag is about Twitter. I don't know. It's just
well, you know what? To be honest with you, I mean,
we've already sold our soul to Mark Zuckerberg. So, I mean,
but it's not even that. I don't even have to sell my soul. If I personally don't have a Twitter account, life will go on. I hardly ever use my own. I use it in terms of the show, but
me too.
You know,
I don't really use my Yeah.
No, he's not a good person. We've established that. His politics are very suspect. He's kind of a homophobe. He taunts people by calling them pedophiles. I mean, which I don't find amusing in the least. Right. And, the marketplace we're out of, he's going to start charging for Twitter. Well, that's a good way to get rid of it. If he's going to let free speech, I mean, it's honestly, like I said, I will sleep at night knowing I don't have Twitter. Yeah. I don't,
Yeah.
I think that we are governing by Twitter and people take Twitter seriously as a means of communication. It's just ridiculous. Right. But that's the stupidization of this country. I mean, we're stupid and people don't seem to care that we're stupid. So we're stupid. So yay. More rich men taking over shit. Yay.
Right. That we didn't ask them to.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever. And his wackadoodle girlfriend.
Oh my God. But you said that she's actually good musically.
No. I saw her opening up for Florence and the Machine a long time ago. And this is when there was a lot of hype around Grimes.
Yeah.
Is it something I want to sit through an entire set? No, but she was good. It was interesting. But reading her interviews now, I'm like, you're not a space alien. You're not an AI. It's like, come on, man. It's like, I really just feel like I'm being punked 24/7.
I mean, doesn't it feel like we're on like it feels like a combination of punked and jackass smashed together.
I'm like, am I actually talking to someone? Is there someone actually there? Or are they just, I feel like unless I physically sit in front of it, everything's a bot. I feel like
and every day there's just some new piece of fucking where I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me.
Well, yeah. I mean, we can have this conversation because it's just, there's no accountability
for anything.
Anything. There is no accountability.
You can just lie. You can say whatever.
And you can tell people it's black is green and green is blue. And they go, okay, I guess. It's like, no, there's certain things that are not, they're just certain things.
It's like
there were dinosaurs. That's a fact. No, well, you can't prove it. Obviously, I can't. Yes, I can. My tooth hurts. Have I mentioned that? But I did take some Advil. Advil is a great thing. All right, let's switch gears to something very, very serious.
Okay.
This Megan Thee Stallion's, she was shot. I'm not even going to say allegedly anymore because she was shot.
Well, she was shot.
She was shot.
We will say allegedly by Tory Lanez.
No,
we have to say that. We have to say that allegedly because there is a trial that will be happening.
Yeah.
But she told a story of him shooting her. I believed her from the beginning. And I find it really funny now, that people didn't want to believe her because she said she stepped on broken glass when we absolutely know in our community, like Black people, that a lot of times we don't like to call the police on each other. And that what she did was trying to save all of them. There's a hot gun in the car. There's all of these things. Right. And she doesn't want to say, there's a gun and he shot me. Like, we all know people in circumstances where people are trying to protect a situation or the other Black people. So to suddenly not want to believe her is fucked up. I do think it's really, really fucked up because everybody knows that young lady was shot. And when you watch her and hear what she was saying, and I realized in that moment, I'm like, oh my God, are we so fucking desensitized to violence?
Yeah.
And we think that she should be used to being shot at? Like, when she said that, she was like, I've never been shot at before. I was
of course she hasn't.
I was terrified. And like for everybody to act like violence in our community is so normal that we should, I don't know. It's a fucked up situation. I think we have to support her because that's fucked up. And we have to stop rewarding people who do bad behavior in our community, especially
in any community. I mean, let's be, I understand what you're saying.
But it's something that's really specific.
First off, I'd like to know, why is he allowed? He's Canadian. Why isn't his ass out of this country? I'm sorry. He is not bringing anything great. What is he doing for the culture? He's like,
because let me just tell you something. If you have like arrests in certain sort of records, you can't go to Canada. I've had artists stopped at the border. They're like, you cannot come in. You can't come in. So they have these strict rules about who can come in and what kind of crimes. Yeah. And if you're a felon, they usually do not let you in.
My respect for her. I mean, I'm not going to lie. When she first came out, I was like, okay, this is a cute song, whatever. My respect for her grows every single day because what she is doing in so many ways, Megan, yes, people like her in the industry and she's making hits and she's, at the Oscars and she's bright and she's young and she's personable, but she is in so many ways going up against a patriarchy and a hierarchy because even though he's not the bigger star, he's still a man. And my respect for her, and when I contrast it, and I know it's apples and oranges, but when I contrast it to someone like Nicki Minaj, who is always defending the men and trashing the women, I just have a lot of respect for Megan Thee Stallion, and I think ultimately she's gonna win. I think she's going to win too. Yeah, I think that I just have a lot of respect for her. I think what she's doing is very difficult, and I respect her for keeping this conversation in the public eye because you know what? There's no reason why she should shut up. She's the victim of a violent crime.
Especially when things are being leaked out and they're trying to call her character into question.
Right. I think.
And I'm like, we need to stand up for this Black women. When we talk about protect Black women, everybody had an opinion like Will Smith was protecting his wife. Well, we need to be protecting Megan because we know she was shot. Yeah. We know it.
Yeah.
We know it. We all know it. We can't sit there and act like we don't know. We know it.
Yeah.
And it's fucked up. And we have to be able to turn in our community when people do shit in the community and say, yo, this is fucked up. And we can't just say, well, yes, yes, we're all Black, but we can't just keep accepting fucked up shit and just being like, well, that's okay. Because that's not all right. And that's how that trauma and shit just keeps going and going and the hyper masculinity of it all. And it's bullshit.
I wouldn't even call it hyper masculinity. It's just masculinity. It really is, But you know what? Call the ER doctor in and let them testify.
Which they will.
Yeah, they know the difference between...
And she still got bullet fragments in her leg, in her foot.
Yeah, so we support you. I just wish that she wasn't talking to Gayle King because she's a hack, but that's neither here nor there. That's a neither here. I don't. Yeah, she's a hack. She's a hack.
Story. Let me just tell you.
Yeah, that's a hack.
Interview a client of mine at this function, and she's a very nice lady. But I was sitting there like, this interview, it was terrible.
Yeah, she's a hack. Sorry. I mean,
nice lady though.
Nice woman.
Very,
I'm sure
nice.
she's very nice. All right. Another woman that we really like around here is Lil Simz, who, as I've said, I was 3 months ago old when I realized that she plays Shelly on Top Boy. So, well, in my defense, she is billed under her real name. So I did not know her real name. It's not like Method Man who goes, whatever his name is, Method Man Smith or something. So in my defense, I did not know that. Anyway, so Lil Simz is critically acclaimed. She won the Mercury, right? Or did she win the Brit? She won the Mercury.
Wait. She won the Brit. She won the Brit. Wait a minute. No, I think she won the Mercury too.
I think she won.
I think for her first album, she won the Mercury Prize, I believe, and she won the Brit Award for. Well, no, she definitely won the Brit. No. The Mercury. Who just won the Mercury? Did she win it?
Not this year.
The year before.
Oh,
wait. She did win this.
Yeah, because it's the album that she would be touring on, or the album that got the attention here is an album that came out a year ago. Anyway, long story short, she has played the United States before. She's played Afro-punk. She is not an unknown quantity here. She's obviously not a huge star, but she's not an unknown quantity. But she was going to be coming here and doing her first, I guess, headlining American tour, and she was going to play the Brooklyn Academy of Music.
11 dates scheduled across the country.
Which I was very excited about because I could get in, hopefully. And that date was May 22nd.
Right.
Or May. So it was coming up, and it was part of a very interesting festival curated by a writer who I can't forget, but it was an interesting festival. Anyway, long story short, she canceled this week. And
just highlighting the issues of, the finances of touring when you're an independent artist and you don't have backing, you don't have tour support. It's really expensive for these artists to do these shows and bring your art to the public. It's
especially coming from overseas. Yeah. I mean, she's not coming from Jersey to tour the United States. So, I mean,
and she's playing smaller venues. So she's not an artist, it's not going to be $100 ticket. It's not a $200 ticket. These shows usually tend to be tickets, usually like between the $30 and $40 something range, right?
Yeah, I think BAM was probably going to be the highest price ticket, and even that would probably be no more than $60.
Right.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
And it's also a subscription series, so members are getting in. It's just really. I mean, we were talking about this. It's just, look, I'm not going to question the woman's. I mean, obviously she didn't want to do this, and obviously finances, and there's inflation, and you're coming to the United States and playing union halls, and there's all sorts of stuff going on. But it's just, you sit there and go, who's working with you? Because why weren't you playing the festivals? The European artists, they invented the festival. Why aren't you playing the festivals? Why aren't you? So it's just unfortunate because.
But it also brings up the plight of independent artists and how hard it is to tour and bring your music live, and the expenses of, I think most people believe that every show these artists play, they're making a ton of money. And it's like, I think the realities of, yes, big stars. First of all, big stars have big shows that cost millions of dollars to put on the road. Right. And yes, they may have a show at the Garden where, their pay for the night, the base pay could be $3 million, whatever, million dollars, whatever. And you get to share food and concessions and all of that. But those are those big artists. And even that's hard to do. For these smaller artists, it's really hard to make it viable to take a full tour, and you have a band and you have your show, you have your sound people, you have to travel. Everybody keeps forgetting you have to feed people, you have to house them, you have to move them. And then you play these shows, which are great. It just makes me really sad that her only answer was to cancel and not maybe come and done the BAM show, maybe done a New York show and an LA show so that people could really see her and hear the music.
You would also think, and I'm not again, this is not a criticism aimed at her at all, but you would think you would have mapped this out ahead of time. It's not like it suddenly got,
it sounds like it was mapped out ahead of time, but sometimes, you know, and I've done this dealing with tour, you map stuff out, and you're still working through details until the very end, you know, with routing and everything. And then then all of the numbers really start to come together. And she might have looked at that and said, this just doesn't make sense.
It's not viable. It's not viable.
I will be because people do go on the road at a loss because they go on the road. They want people to hear their music. You know, they try to make up for it by selling merch and things at shows. So for her, maybe this is what I hope. Now that she's canceled that, there is time. I am sure someone in America will pull her for a festival date or something, because we have a lot of stuff coming this summer.
Yeah, no, it would be, I mean, like I said, I was looking forward to seeing her, but you know, I mean, I hope, all right. So the festival season is upon us. Mm-hmm. And so Coachella, we talked about that before. It was the last 2 weekends. Mm-hmm. I've seen some, you know, everybody and their mother played. I've seen some footage. I mean, our love affair, or my love affair with Harry Styles, obviously is well documented. And I've seen some clips where, I mean, he was just freaking great. I mean, he is, and I love that he has an all-woman band too.
This is his moment. He's seizing the moment. This is his moment.
I mean, seizing, but you're right. But also with the material to back it up. This is not just some guy. But anyway, so that's why I say you can't seize the moment if everything is not coming together at that same time, right? It's like you have to have the song, just the energy, and he came at a perfect time. The lane is so clear for him. Well, there's no one there.
Yeah,
there's no male artist that anybody's even remotely interested in.
Right.
I mean, at all. And he's good looking. He puts on a show. He's got a live band.
I think I hit you out the blue, and I was like, "Yo, this song is really great." And I've never hit you about a Harry Styles song, but I was like,
no, it's a great song.
This song is really, really
it's
great.
a great. Well, anyway, so he brought out his first, okay. All right. So he brought out Shania Twain. Now, this is no disrespect to Shania Twain, but I just don't.
You say that every time.
No, but it's not. I'm not saying she's not talented.
Right.
She can obviously sing. Mm-hmm. And her ex-husband, Mutt Lange, is a fantastic producer. If you like Def Leppard, you like Def Leppard in good part because of Mutt Lange, because he is like the arena rock producer. He can make any song sound fantastic. All of that said, I'm just like, maybe it's because I'm older. Maybe I'm like, really? This is the sound? I guess he's 28, but this kind of trading in nostalgia for stuff bores me to tears. It bores me to tears. I mean, I'm just like, oh, now I'm going to bring out Shania Twain. But it's also, and he brought out Lizzo. Then Billie Eilish brought out the girl from Paramore. I mean, a group that means less than nothing to me. But I know if you're I understand. If you're 19, you grew up listening to Paramore. Right. So I understand the generational connection. But now
I don't think I can name a Paramore song.
Neither one of us could. But that's the point, is it's not ours to name. You know what I mean? You ask the average rap fan now, an 18-year-old, who's Rakim? And they're going, I don't know, my uncle on my mother's side. I have no idea who Rakim is. Right. So, but I'm just like so bored with this surprise guest. Because it's not a surprise if you can see it coming. Mm-hmm. It's just so boring. It just feels like yet another gimmick. It feels like just a corny ass gimmick. And I understand, you know, it's fun and it's for a festival, but it just seems so like, you know, CMT Crossroads. I know. Let's put two of these things are not like the other. And it's like, they kind of are.
I totally used to watch CMT Crossroads.
Right. I mean, but you know what I mean? It's just sort of like the gimmick of this is just getting
first of all, I hate festivals. Hate them. Not my thing.
Right.
Not into it. Couldn't care less. It's like, I don't need to be in a crowd of 700,000 people all the way at the back watching you actually on the screen. And yes, everybody always brings out a guest and whatever. You know, it all just seems so
it's
random.
And it just feels like that this is another indication of the social mediaization. This is all for clicks. This is of the next day you get the click of them sitting there singing Still the One. And it's cute. And then Harry Styles gets the, you know, because he's gender fluid. No, he is not. He's a heterosexual man. Like, we can stop with the gender fluid shit. He is a heterosexual man who wears.
No, because I believe how does he describe himself? I don't think you can say that, because I don't know if that's how I don't believe that he describes himself as a heterosexual
sleeping with a lot of hot women.
Yes, but I believe that's not how, so you have to be careful of that, because I believe that is not how he describes himself.
Oh, well, the point is that, for my point on this is that, so we get the kitsch value of a ostensibly cis white male singing "Man, I Feel Like a Woman" it's like, ooh, that's so shocking. It's just getting a little like tiresome at this point. It's all feeling like these fake jam band Grammy moments. And it's fun, you pay homage, but it feels like something for clickbait. That said, the Harry Styles, you know, his set, from what I saw, was good. You know, we've had our conversations about Lizzo, but the woman can sing. She sings, she pulled it out, but I just find it all so kitschy. Like, I know we'll come out and sing "I Will Survive." Really? Like,
I don't know what it is. Like, she just worn me out. So like, just right now, the sight of her makes me upset. Yeah. It's been too much. And it's like, now when she's coming with music, I'm just like, I'm so sick of seeing you.
This is the social media.
I just don't care.
If we didn't see her, if there was an element of anticipation for the record, there is no element of anticipation in one sense, because she won't get out of our face.
No. And I don't follow any of her. But she seems to come across every piece of my timeline. Wow. And it's just like,
I'll tell you something. And then, so when I was working with these high school kids, you know, like very typical black and brown Brooklyn high school kids. All right. Like nothing like, you know, just cool kids, totally typical kids. And I was playing videos and I played Lizzo, and I am telling you, half of the class had no idea who she was, because she's not being played in their household.
Right.
They knew who Billie Eilish was, but they didn't know who Lizzo was. They knew who.
You told me about Yebba because of the kids in your class.
Right. They knew. No, not Yebba. Burna Boy. They knew.
And Yebba, but you told me back Yebba because you told me Yebba, and that's what made me. And I realized I had her on some records because your kids were talking about Yebba. But that was last year sometime.
They know heavy metal stuff. Yeah. They know all this kind of stuff. But she's
they're like Lizzo. They're like, I don't know Lizzo? What that is.
Because she's not being marketed. I mean, like I said, there isn't a Pilates class in New York City where you don't have the gay Pilates instructor, bless his heart, on the Pandora mix, which is her. And then, it's like, oh, she's body positive. I mean, she's weighs a lot. I mean, okay. I mean, yay. I mean, good for her, you know?
Not the Pandora party mix.
Yeah. I used to think, wow, this person did have really good taste in music, but I'd go, wow, they play a lot of Tiana Taylor in this class. I'm like, oh, I get it. Because nobody,
because he's playing Tiana Taylor radio.
Right.
Like, wow. You're like, wow, they are really progressive.
Wow, they're really progressive here. They're playing Tiana Taylor. And I'm like, oh, right. Got it. That's why we're hearing a lot of Tiana Taylor. All right. I thought I'd stumbled into some urban progressive Pilates studio in the middle of whiter than white Fort Greene. No. Well, speaking of concerts, everybody's getting COVID. Your assholes, keep your masks on. The end.
Yep.
The end.
It's like, hi. I know they're trying to kill you and stuff, but you can make a personal choice in this. I keep seeing people being like, I'm so confused. I'm like,
nothing to be confused about.
Just make a personal choice.
Yeah, nothing to be confused.
If you don't feel comfortable,
put it on.
Put it on. It's really very simple.
It's very simple. It really is.
If you don't want to wear it anymore, then don't wear it. It really is a personal choice. I don't understand why everybody is going through this. Yes, nobody likes wearing a mask. Let me say it again. And I've said it 85 times. No one likes wearing a mask.
Well, when it's cold out, it is kind of nice. It keeps your face nice.
But no one likes it. But no, it's not that confusing. It's not a personal choice.
Either. Just keep it on.
If you feel like you have some issues and you need to keep it on, then you just keep it on.
No
one's going to look at you strange because you have one on.
I don't even notice it anymore. And my neighbors were really nice and gave me the hardcore ones. I will tell you something. Okay. So first off, if you live in New York City, and this is like, you can go to any public library and they will give you COVID testing kits, which is kind of fabulous. As I said, I'm collecting them like Pokemon cards because I'm giving them to people I know who don't live in New York. Like, and then also I'm traveling.
I have a cabinet full.
I have a cabinet. They're all, but here's the thing. It still kills me when I see the mask around the neck. You know, people are like indoors wearing the mask around the neck. And it's like, what are you doing? So as I always say, I always relate it to the first time when I was young Amy Linden, little Amy Linden, and I was getting fitted for diaphragm. The women listening to this will understand what that is. The men will be like, fitted for one. Isn't it a pill? No, the diaphragm is the one you put up inside you. And the doctor. I
always thought it was a one size fit all. I didn't know you had
No. We're all different sizes. Hilarious.
Like, why would I know? I just thought it was like a
that's
thing
I've
seen and I thought it's because they were
all different sizes. No. They have like a little and they try it on. But anyway, my doctor handed it to me. He handed it to me in a little case. I was like 18 and he goes, now remember, it only works if you take it out of the case. I was like, oh. And guess what? I didn't get pregnant. See this? So that's the thing about masks. You don't want to wear a mask. Okay. But then I don't understand how I got COVID.
How do you take it out?
You open the case. It's like a case and the little thing is in there.
Out.
Oh, you take it out and you fold it like a taco and you put it up there.
Hand up there?
Yeah. Excuse me, something else is about to go up there. Where do you think babies? Do I have to explain to you where babies come from?
Yes, but it's just so like
my tooth hurt. Listen, let me tell you something about.
How does it know where to stop?
Because we're not the fucking Holland Tunnel. Jesus Christ. First of all, I don't remember. It's been so long. But all I'm saying, Courtney, do I have to for your birthday, I'm going to buy you where do babies come from?
The last time I saw a vagina live, I was 18 years old.
All right.
Now, granted, I'm 37. I'm 37 now.
They haven't changed. We're still built the same way. Oh, Dios mío. I'm going to buy you a copy of the Feminist Health Handbook, Our Bodies Ourselves, and you can read it.
Can it get stuck?
Yes. But I don't want to have it. It's 9:17 in the morning. I have a toothache.
So many questions. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
we should not go down this path.
We'll do a whole show about... Actually, once. This is actually true.
Okay.
Okay. I can't even believe I'm telling you, but this was hilarious. This is a long time ago. All right. A long time ago. You know, you take it out, you wash it, whatever. My then cat got a hold of it and was playing. And you know, this is what you're going to pull. Don't pull this for the pull quote.
Right.
Don't put this on. I'm begging you. Don't let me talk shit about any artist that I might have to work with. But yeah, my cat. At the time, my cat at the time was like batting it around the house.
Toy.
It is. It looks like a toy. It looks like a rubber flying saucer.
Hilarious.
All right, I can't even believe how it's 9:18 in the morning. Oh, and all we were trying to say is don't get COVID, wear a mask.
Don't get COVID, wear a mask.
Don't wear a diaphragm around.
No diaphragm.
Won't do anything for you. Yeah. Now, I bet you thought the expression singing from your, I don't know why it's called diaphragm though, because it's like singing from your diaphragm. It's part of your whatever.
Right under the rib cage, the diaphragm.
Yeah, it doesn't go up that far.
Well, I would hope not.
Yeah.
Because if your arm can reach that far, you're eating.
Oh, no. You should be in the circus then.
It's like you're literally
You should be in the circus, yeah. All right, okay. I have to, the painkiller has just kicked in. The Advil is working. I can function. All right, speaking of fucking Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Two people deserve each other.
Let me just tell you something. It's like, I don't know what you guys are going through, but the only thing you've really done is show that you are both horrible people.
Horrible.
You are both I don't blame either or. I'm like, you are both horrible people. And you're all on this. I mean, the shit that is, it's just like, are you kidding me right now?
Horrible. First off, okay, did he hit her? Yeah, he probably did. She probably hit him back too. But the thing is, whenever people talk about his emotional testimony, these are professional actors.
I mean, that part.
He convinced you that he had scissor hands. He convinced you that he was in the mafia. I mean, he's an actor. He's was a great actor. He hasn't done anything good in a really long time. All right. So that's the first part. The second part is, if I hated somebody so much, would you want to be in a courtroom with them? And do we really think... I just watch. I mean, I'm not watching the trial because I could really care less, but it's on the news all the time. And he looks like, oh my God, how cute did Donnie Depp used to be?
I mean, and why does everybody always come back with some unidentifiable accent? Like, it's all of a sudden, they always have these accents. It's like, where are you from? Like, where?
Yeah. One thing I really do admire about Chrissie Hynde, and I don't admire a lot about Chrissie Hynde other than her talent. She has lived in England for like 3/4 of her adult life, and she does not have an English accent. Okay. She does not have an English accent. She has some English expressions, obviously, that she injects. Yeah. You lived in France for 15 years and suddenly you sound like, what is that? Like, what voice? And he looks crazy. No man, but especially no white man over the age of 30 should be rocking earrings, double earrings. My son used to have both ears pierced, right? I was really happy actually because he was self-conscious about his ear and he got him pierced and he looked great. And at one point he took him out. And I'm like, oh, why'd you take him out? And he goes, because I don't want the kind of job where they're going to notice that I have both ears pierced. And I went, okay.
Well, it's funny. I used to have both ears pierced, and then on my left ear, I had 3 holes.
Oh, I have 3 holes too.
And then one day, I was just kind of like...
It's a lot. It's a lot.
I think I walked past the mirror, and I used to wear little hoops, and I was like... I'm like, I think we're done with this. I kept my nose pierced, which has been pierced now for 30 years.
Yeah, no, these are high school in the bathroom with drinking a bottle of wine and someone sticking a needle in my ear. That's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, this trial is just boring.
Just ridiculous.
And it's also minimal. I mean, to be really all joking aside, but to find that he looks like some big puffy monster and she's sitting there, it's really minimizing a very serious subject. Domestic abuse is a very serious subject, but I'm just like tired of them. He had a bad reputation before this. He was trashing hotels and being a drunken lunatic. And I just, the two of them, it's almost wrapping up, right?
No, they said there are weeks more to go for some reason. I do not know why. It's like, this.
Oh, you know who one of the witnesses is in the drama?
Oh, God, who?
Elon Musk.
Why?
She used to date Elon Musk. So he's going to come in. I don't know if he's for Johnny or for her, but he's going to come in.
Lord.
Or at some point, a deposition. So it's going to be Elon Musk. I know. I find the whole thing I just want it to go away.
And it refuses.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of France, yay. Pepe Le Pen lost.
And Macron won simply because people didn't want her, not because they really wanted him.
Well, isn't that kind of the way the Trump and Biden thing kind of went? I mean, aren't we in a choosing of, though, Biden at his absolute... Yeah, Macron is problematic. We all have friends who live in France and stuff like that, but she's dangerous. I mean, she's a Nazi. I mean, let's just full out. This neo-Nazi stuff is like ridiculous. She's a Nazi. She's a horrible human being, but she has a lot more power. She's a lot more mainstream now. So, but luckily he won, and yay, we're glad about that because now Mylene Farmer can perform in a hijab and not get arrested.
Well, because it's really important for Mylene.
Are you really going to try to go to that show?
I absolutely. It's next summer. This summer 2023. I absolutely am trying to go to that show.
2023.
It's 2023. The Nevermore Stadium tour.
Oh my God.
Mylene Farmer, Nevermore.
Oh my God, 2023. That's like
summer 2023.
Oh my God, that's a really long time ago. Or in Fort. All right. Thinking of things that don't exist anymore. CNN.
I didn't even know that the shit launched. I kept seeing commercials thinking it was coming soon.
Soon.
And when they were like, it's over, I was like, wait, that happened?
It happened? I know. It was like
some shit like
a gazillion dollars.
They spent a gazillion dollars.
I didn't understand the point of it, though. I mean,
I was really confused too.
I was confused too because so you watch CNN, you get your news, and I do like the morning. I like John Berman and Brianna Keeler. Because I just enjoy them.
I haven't watched CNN in years.
Yeah, I mean, I just it's you want to get news, whatever you go through it. Okay, but what is the plus part? Like, I have to get to see Anderson Cooper changing diapers. I mean, I don't give a
who gives a fuck? And Chris Wallace having a show. It's like,
but it's just also seems, and again, corporate America is not my lane. I'm sure it's not our strong suit. It seems like if your company's in the midst of being bought by another company, I guess Discover. And that's a total scam, that Discover Plus, because I signed up for it. It was $5, and I split it with Candace so that we could get behind the scenes 90
and
Day
you got fucking gypped. You were like, it's some
I was
weird...
like, this is not even worth $2.50.
Right.
And that's saying a lot because I buy churros and the price have gone up. And that's another scandal. But yeah, I mean, so if something's happening in the middle of something, and then the guy who bought Discovery Plus was like, and we don't need this. So think of, all joking aside, think about all the money that was wasted.
Well, it was Jeff Zucker's baby. And once they got him out, they were like, we're not spending any more money.
We're not money.
And shut it all the way down.
It's just such a complete, I mean, not to be like all philosophical and whatever, but people can do with their money they want. But
but you see how much money is wasted in this world.
Yeah. And it eventually comes back to bite us because we're paying for it, right? Because somebody has, so it's just a shame. It's just so stupid. And it's like boys with their toys, but I had no idea it launched either. I just kept seeing ads for it all the time.
I kept seeing ads for it. Next thing you know, they were like, it's done. I was like,
really?
Okay.
That was fun. It was like, that was the most exciting 10 seconds.
Right.
It was like poppers or something. It's like, did I just do, I'm like, is it done?
Come on, poppers. Hold on.
Am I done being high? Speaking of, it's done. So yay. I mean, more corporate stupid, more corporate. All right, let's talk about something that we both are in love. I love when you and I mean, our lanes, our field of interest music wise definitely cross a lot. I am not shocked if there's a new, Robin, if you were to come out and say, I don't like this new Robin record, I'd go, oh my God, I have a week to live, clearly.
Right. I
I
really hated that Buffalo stance. It was terrible.
I know, but I know.
I really wanted to love it because it's two artists that I love so much. And I was like, I can't love this. It's horrible.
I don't love it. I like it.
You tried to really held out for it. You really did.
I mean, I love it. I don't love it. I like it, but I'm willing to give both of those women 100 million chances.
No, they get a pass on this one.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think this is a setup for a tribute record.
Yes, because I think the next one coming is Man Child or Inner City Mama, because Netta was playing a little clip of something. So
okay. Well, anyway, so I love the Pusha T.
It's great.
I've loved him as an entity. And I remember back a million years ago, hi, Stephen Victor, if you're listening to the show, and you should be, when he was their publicist, when the Clips publicist, and he got Lucian, who was then a teenager, and I think he sent him like an apron, like a Coke cooking apron. I was like, Stephen, I don't know if I want to give my teenage son a Coke cooking apron, but thank you, the promotional. Anyway, I love Pusha T. I've always loved Pusha T. This is his third, I think, or fourth solo record on Good Music, working with Kanye. I love Daytona. You remember that time when Kanye put out like 7 records in 7 days or something like that? Tiana Taylor being one of them, this one. So Pusha T has a new album out, and it fits all the criteria. It's 2 producers. It's Pharrell and Kanye.
It's called
the dry season.
It's almost dry.
It's almost dry, which I'm sure is a drug reference, right? It's got to be, right? It's got to be a drug
reference.
Yes, it
is.
I mean, I'm assuming that means the rock has cooled, the Coke has cooled off enough to crumble. The biggest complaint about Pusha T is that, he does this thing about Coke. Okay. And he's not just singing about Coke. They are metaphors for things, for crying out loud. I mean, it's not like, he's just great. it's a great record. It's efficient. It's to the point. He sounds great. You could, like we said yesterday, you can understand what he's saying. It's not this mush mouth and pumpkin puss rapping that I can't deal with. Great production. Great production. Mm-hmm. Great production. We were talking about this. When, say what you will about Kanye, and there's a lot to say, when he wants to produce something and pull it out. I mean, yeah, he does the sped up soul samples, but that's his thing.
Right.
But great production. Pharrell, when's the last time Pharrell produced a hip hop record? I can't even think. When's the last time he did anything? It's just a great album. What do you think about it? You like it, right?
Listen, you know me. If I hit you about a hip hop record, and it means something, because that, you know, that's not where I naturally gravitate toward. But there's certain artists I'm always going to listen to, and I really like him, and you know, I really like Vince Staples. So I feel like it's 2 for 2 right now. 2 rap records in my rotation, and I'm enjoying. And the
Nas record was like that too, because it fits that thing we were talking about, and it's not even necessarily an age thing, but I mean, hip hop, at least it was when we were kids, was about. If you can't understand the person is saying, if it's all, I mean, look, we both listen to music in foreign languages, and you pick up a sort of vibe and stuff like that. Right. But if the vibe is just like, and you don't understand what they're saying, then what am I listening to? And
to me, I don't even see it like that. I see some of it really as generational. I feel like a lot of the mumble rap stuff is just not my generation. And there are some songs and artists that they will give me a moment that I like, right? But I think that that's another generation's language, and they love it, and it speaks to them. So I like it that we get these guys who are really kind of speaking more in a cadence that really suits my ears. You know what I mean? That's what I want to hear. I'm not going to say there's not been some of the mumble rap dudes that have not made records. Like we've talked about Travis Scott. I mean, he does make great records. Well,
he's beyond, that's like that sing-songy stuff. I don't even know what they call it. No, Travis Scott has made Juice WRLD, fantastic stuff. You know, I like some of the drill stuff. No, it's just great about the, you know, Pusha T is like one of those rappers. I'm sure this record will debut #1. And he's one of those rappers that other people want to work with because he is of that generation. He does have a tremendous amount of integrity. The lane is wide open for him right now. Who else is what other rappers putting out a record right now? Of note. And it's just a great record. And
because we don't come with Kendrick until
mid-May. You know? Right. Yeah. And that'll be interesting to see whether Kendrick, I don't know, the kids do care about Kendrick, but it'll just be interesting to see, but they do love Pusha. Anyway, it's a great record to Pusha T. I have this is where the music critic in me, I'm such an asshole. So but it's true. This is where fact checking and being young, where you need to, so there's one of the songs, I forget which song that Kanye produced. It's set to a sample of John Lennon's Jealous Guy. But it's not John Lennon's Jealous Guy. It's as sung by somebody else. So they should listen. It's not John Lennon singing it. It's another woman. And they don't say that. They just say John Lennon's Jealous Guy. And I'm like, okay, who sang it? But that's neither here nor there. Great record. He probably the Beatles sample, the John Lennon sample would have been a fortune. All right. Anything else on your mind?
Do you know, for some reason,
I'm going to patent that expression. Every time you say, do you know, for some reason, I'm going to charge you $1 and I'm going to be a millionaire.
For some reason, I've been on a full Man Parish Village People kick.
Oh, you didn't tell me that part. Was just Man Parish yesterday.
Man Parish and like that first Man Parish album, you know, that has hip hop bebop and Heat Stroke and Man Made and all that stuff on it. And it's really a great record. And I've been digging into my Village People section and just, I don't know, have a full moment. Those are listen, I know it sounds,
I'm not laughing.
Some of it is cheesy, but those were fun records. They were big records. And I was in here Saturday kind of cleaning the house and playing the live album. And those Victor Willis, those vocals, he could really sing. You know what I mean? Yeah. So he made those songs sound great because his voice was so good.
Well, they always had to have, it's like Pussycat Dolls, right? They actually always had that one person who could actually sing.
And a real singer, you know?
Yeah. Otherwise, you've got a bunch of models.
And it just, you know, I don't know if I'm not really a terribly nostalgic person, but it definitely was making me think of New York at a time when going out was so different and it just felt so free and everything was a good time. It wasn't about popping bottles and table service. Like everybody went out to dance and the energy of the city felt really electric and alive, you know, and that music kind of still gives me that energy. And I have some hope that with Pride coming up in New York, and this is our first live one in 2 years, that we get a little bit of that electricity back in the city after this pandemic's been really, really rough. It's been rough, you know? So I feel like when I turn on the news, everything is so heavy. So I'm just trying to find joy again in music because the world seems really heavy at the moment.
Oh, the world's terrible. Yeah. I mean, it's terrible stuff is going on. And so much of it preventable, so much of it completely out of our realm of comprehension. So
which is why I try to create the joy in here, just play some records.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, we always have to find that balance about being aware and being conscious but also not letting us, destroy our, just kind of destroys. I will say I haven't been listening to much of anything because I've been getting ready for the end of the semester and grading papers. And I have a story to tell you when we get off real quick before I get this. Every day I feel like I am being tested. I'm being tested to see at what point I'm going to completely lose my shit and just start screaming.
Just start fucking going all the way off.
No, all the way there. Just turning into that teacher that picks up the table and throws it. No. And the good thing is when you're online, you can't pick up tables and throw it. But it's just, I
know all of you teachers need this year to be over. I know y'all do. It's been hard.
Oh my God. And the weirdest, but anyway, okay. And I know I'm like 100 years late on this, and it's a show that I had always wanted to watch, but then I get into the loop of the new. I have been binging Snowfall, and why haven't I been watching this?
I heard it's great. I've never watched it.
Oh my God. Let me tell you something. And somebody said this. If this show was on HBO instead of FX, it would be getting wire level reviews.
Right.
And part of me went, all right.
But I believe it does get really good reviews.
No, it does. But I'm saying it would be almost at that prestige level. But it was on FX and everybody's like, oh, FX, whatever. It's because I was like, how many more stories can I see about the coke trade, the crack trade in LA? Haven't we seen? This is just really, really good. So I've been sort of binging that, watching that. And then there is a new show, speaking of The Wire, that I haven't checked out yet by David Simon, Wire affiliated people on HBO short series. So I'll watch that while I grade papers and have my tea pushed back into my mouth. All right, you want to take us out because you do it so bad. I mean, not bad. Good. I meant good. What am I saying? My tooth. I did not mean bad. That was
y'all. We taped this show literally. And we started hours before we normally do. So this is one of those days where it's like, yeah, you know how it goes. So
I'm drinking everything on the left side of my mouth.
Thank you, guys. Remember, you can catch us every Thursday on the Pantheon Podcast Network, where there are over 70 amazing music shows. Like I'm telling you guys, there's every type of music show. You want to hear stories from backstage. You want to hear stories from people who are on the stage, people at radio, writers. I mean, just really good stuff, every genre. So follow the Pantheon Podcast Network, where you can hear us there on our main page. You also know that you can follow us on Facebook at ImmaLetYouFinish, all one word. On Twitter at Finish Imma. We hate that.
You know what? That might be. Yeah, we might solve that problem very quickly.
We might solve that problem soon. Wink, wink. We're on TikTok at ImmaLetYouFinish Podcast. And, we're everywhere. We're on iHeart. We're on Google. If you have Alexa, you can say, Alexa, play ImmaLetYouFinish Podcast. We're on Pandora.
Spotify.
Pandora on the Pantheon Podcast page. We're on Spotify. We're on Deezer. We're on iHeart. We're just, you name it, we're there. We love you guys. Thank you for all of the communication. You guys are really funny on Facebook. You guys are hilarious. And you're very funny.
You're very entertaining.
Very opinionated.
I don't know why they're opinionated. I don't know how do we encourage that sort of nonsense?
I have no idea.
I know, really. How dare they?
All right, guys. So we love you. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
It's NFL draft season, and that means it's time to start thinking about fantasy football. FantasyPoints.com features industry-leading experts and prognosticators using proprietary hand-charted data to help you score more fantasy points. FantasyPoints.com is the place to go for whatever kind of fantasy football you play. Whether you play fantasy football, daily fantasy sports, or do a little bit of everything, Fantasy Points has the meticulously researched content to guide you to victory. And why wait for the fall? Fantasy Points also covers the new spring football league, the UFL. Join the guru, John Hansen, Scott Barrett, Joe Dolan, and other massive names in the fantasy football universe with an exclusive offer. Use code Pantheon for 15% off any Fantasy Points package, including the all-in package, with access to every article, tool, and data nugget that Fantasy Points has to offer. That's FantasyPoints.com and code Pantheon for 15% off at Fantasy Points. FantasyPoints.com, code Pantheon. Score more fantasy points.